Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Monday. But of course, most importantly, Happy Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day celebrating or not celebrating in whatever way you do. Either way, hope today is a fantastic day for you guys. For me personally, thus far, it's been pretty good. We got up bright and early this morning to give gifts from Santa to Sean. He had a blast. This is his first year, kind of sort of really getting Christmas. Last year, we tried to explain Santa and Christmas and everything to him, and it just kind of went right over his head. All he knew was we were handing him presents, which he loved, but this year he gets Santa. He understands Christmas. He was excited leading up to today, so it was the first time where he came walking down the stairs and saw the tree with all the presents underneath, and his eyes got all bright, and he was all excited and ran over to the tree. It was his first year being really excited for Christmas, which as a father was pretty cool to see. That was great. He got a lot of really cool presents. He was pretty pumped and excited. So great morning. Then this afternoon, we went to my family's for a Christmas lunch, which is great. Always getting to see my family is fantastic. And then I came home and I took a nap on the couch. I sat down here to kind of rest for a little bit, maybe watch a few YouTube videos, and before I knew it, I was clunked out. Getting up early this morning, and then eating all that food at my family's house, yeah, I was out for the count, so I had to take a nap. But now I'm up, and I'm refreshed, and it's time for a video. If there's one negative thing I can say about Christmas Day, it's the fact that nothing's open. I can't do any media hunting, no flea markets, no thrift stores, no pawn shops, no chain stores. Nothing. So, unfortunately, I have no media to show you guys. And by the way, of course, I'm just joking. Everybody should be home with their family, not working today. I do unfortunately have no media to show you. And no, I did not actually get any physical media for Christmas. This year, I asked for nothing but Disney gift cards because in April and September, me and my family are going down to Walt Disney World. So we're going down twice this year. And as such, I went, what do I want this year? Gift cards. In fact, a lot of the rest of the family gave my wife gift cards, and even some of them gave Sean gift cards as well, all to Disney. So pretty much we are set for Disney this year. We have like a ridiculous, stupid amount of Disney gift cards, which is awesome. So we're good for Disney. So unfortunately, since that is all I asked for, I don't have any physical media to show you guys. But the good news is I have a bunch of stuff to review for you guys. So today is going to be the Merry Movie Marathon volume or part 3, and we're going to take a look at all the Merry Movie Marathon titles I've recently checked out. So let's get down to it. And first up is the ever classic National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Oh my gosh, this here is a Christmas classic. If I were to do a top, maybe top 5 Christmas movies of all time, this might be in there. It would definitely be in the top 10 anyway. I don't know. I'm not good at top whatever movies. People always ask me, oh, do your top favorite horror movies or your favorite Christmas movies, your favorite whatever movies. I'm horrible at that because I'm always second guessing myself and redoing the list, and before I know it, I've driven myself completely insane trying to make up a list. So I don't usually do those. But I will say, if I were to make up a list, this would maybe even be in the top 5, but at the very least, definitely 100%, it would be in the top 10. This is a fantastic holiday tradition in this house. I watch this every single year. It is hilarious. I love the character of Clark Griswold. He's kind of your everyday man, but of course, constantly getting himself into these horrible situations. But I love the fact that he's trying to be such a great family man. That's why I love this character so much, is that he wants to be like the best dad ever. He wants to be, again, that 100% family man, whether he's taking his family on a trip to Wally World, or whether he's going on a European vacation, whether he's going to Vegas, and we don't need to get into that one, or whether he's throwing, or you're staying home this time, and throwing the ultimate Christmas family get-together. I mean, his whole family is coming over to his house. He's trying to put up all the lights and deal with the fact that his whole family is coming to the house and getting the tree and decorating and just just getting set up for Christmas, and it's such a fun movie to watch. Of course, he gets himself into all these horrible situations. Nothing really goes right. But in the end, you kind of learn that, you know, it is all about family and whatnot, and being kind to one another. And you sort of learn, you know, the true meaning of Christmas towards the end of the movie, which is great. So I love this film. Again, it is a classic. It is a holiday tradition that should be held in everybody's house. Everybody needs to watch this movie. I also love the fact that it's not, is this R-rated? It's PG-13, right? Yeah, PG-13. It's a little edgy, but not too edgy. It's not one of those movies. It's not like Bad Santa, where it's like, you know, a super edgy Christmas movie. This is, you know, just a little bit edgy, which adds to the fun of it and makes it a little bit more exciting and not so, you know, family friendly, which I really enjoy. So I love this movie. Again, it's fantastic. Probably my favorite out of all the National Lampoon vacation movies. The first one is really, really good. Vacation is amazing. I love that movie. But I gotta be honest, I don't watch Vacation every single year. I watch this every year. So this might be my favorite out of them all, even though Vacation is a really, really, really close second. But anyway, fantastic. I love it. Great story. Clark Griswold is just amazing in my opinion. I love his character. So yeah, check it out if you haven't, but I'm sure most of you have probably seen this movie, and most of you have probably watched it this year. So next up is actually a little bit of Halloween mixed in. We have Mickey Mouse, Merry and Scary, although in my opinion it should be Mickey Mouse, Scary and Merry, because, well, Scary comes before Merry. Halloween comes before Christmas, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, so yes, this is actually a Halloween special and a Christmas special from the new Mickey Mouse animated series. So I did watch the whole thing. I wasn't going to pop this one in and just watch the Christmas special. I had to watch both. It's kind of like when I watch The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad during Halloween. I end up watching Mr. Toad as well. I'm not going to not watch half the movie. So I love this new animated series. It is great. It's hilarious. And I love, in the Halloween short, Mickey trying to tell this scary story, and he's failing and failing and failing, and then he tells like the ultimate scary story, and it's great. Watching him scare the pants off Huey, Dewey, and Louie is amazing. And then in the Christmas one, Donald decides to not fly south for the winter because he wants to celebrate Christmas. The ducks do not celebrate Christmas. When it gets cold, they fly south, which of course you find out, you know, for some reason the ducks are all idiots, and they don't realize that, well, it doesn't have to be cold to celebrate Christmas. You can celebrate Christmas down south if you want. People down south do celebrate Christmas. So of course Donald decides to stay home to celebrate, and as a duck dealing with cold weather, it doesn't go very well, and it's hilarious watching him deal with the cold weather. And of course they end up going down south and realizing that, oh, we can celebrate down here, so everybody's happy at the end. So just, again, fantastic. Definitely something I'd recommend picking up if you are a fan of the new Mickey Mouse animated series. In my opinion, it's really, really good. I really do enjoy it. Again, as I said recently, I've been pretty much enjoying all the new Disney animated series that have been out. They're just great. They're kind of you know, in that realm of like the newer sort of I don't want to say edgy, but kind of like wacky and zany cartoons that have been coming out a lot recently. It is very similar to those animated series, but it's great to see these characters and these situations acting the way they act. It really fits well, and I love it. So Mickey Mouse, excuse me, Mickey Mouse, Merry and Scary, definitely something to see, even though you're going to be watching, well, unless you're not, you could not be crazy like me, and for Halloween you could watch the scary part, and for Christmas you could watch the merry part, or you could be crazy like me and say, no, I have to watch the entire DVD in its entirety. So yeah, how to check it out, awesome, fantastic, would recommend it. And then this was great. We have Happy Holidays with Bing and Frank. This is really, really cool. This was a Christmas special. I believe it was from the Frank Sinatra show. I think that's what it was called. Does it actually say on the back here? I don't think it does. I don't see a single here, but I believe it was from the Frank Sinatra show. He had Bing Crosby on for a Christmas special, and it's great listening to them sing all these great classic Christmas songs. They go back to like Ye Olde England, does it say? Oh, Victorian England. They go back in time to Victorian England, and they're singing all these songs and whatnot. So you're getting everything from classic Christmas songs, you know, in the realm of like Charles Dickens' time, all the way up to modern like 1950s, kind of more I don't say rock and roll, but rock and roll doo-wop, sort of like crooner style Christmas songs. And it's great. I mean, these two are icons of music, and of course, in my opinion, icons of Christmas music as well. I mean, well, come on, Bing Crosby, of course. So yeah, definitely Christmas music icons, and to have them both together in this special singing is really, really cool. And it just makes you feel so great watching this. I mean, in today's time, I mean, okay, even back then, every decade is not a great decade. Every decade, people go, oh man, I wish we could go back to like, you know, X amount of years ago. But unfortunately, that's because things in this world just seem to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And it can really put you in a negative spot. So to watch something, you know, from back then, when it just seemed like Christmas sort of meant more to people, and people maybe were in a bit more of, at least during the Christmas season, we're in a more of a festive mood. It seems nowadays, even at Christmas time, people are grumpy and angry and negative, which is a horrible, horrible thing. But it seems at least back then, maybe for at least a short period of time, people kind of put their negativity aside and maybe really truly celebrated Christmas. Nowadays, I don't see Christmas really being celebrated anymore. And I'm not talking about necessarily the religious aspect of it. I mean, yes, of course, but also even the commercial aspect of it. I mean, people always say, you know, keep the Christ in Christmas, and you know, that's fine if you're religious and that's your thing. I certainly have nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But I think even the commercial side of Christmas is a very important thing, because it does a lot of times make people happy, brings people together, makes people you know, more positive and kind of put their negative side away. But I don't see people celebrating Christmas nearly as much these days than they even did when I was a kid. When I was a kid, everybody seemed to celebrate Christmas. It was a big, great thing. My town got really into it. Nowadays, like, my town doesn't even like do a Christmas thing anymore. Like, they don't do a tree lighting. It's just not what it used to be. I know there are still places that do really get into Christmas and celebrate it, and that's fantastic. And Christmas is definitely still celebrated hardcore by many, many, many people. It just doesn't seem like it's celebrated by as many people as it once was, or at least to the extent that it was. So it's kind of, it's really disappointing, in my opinion. I wish I could go back to when I was a kid and how big and great Christmas was to like so many people. And this kind of took me back. It gave me a really warm feeling like in my heart. I was like, man, I love the idea of people being like so into Christmas and celebrating this time of year and being so happy this time of year. So, all right, anyway, I know, kind of a weird, sappy rant there. But anyway, this is fantastic. I would recommend it. It's really short. It's only maybe like 20 minutes long because it is just an episode of the Frank Sinatra show. But it's definitely worth checking out. It is really cool. Also, a bunch of bonus features as well. I think the entire runtime, does it say? I believe it said somewhere. It's actually an hour and a half if you watch the special and then all the special features. I actually didn't watch the special features. I'll have to do that at some point. So very cool, very awesome. Would definitely recommend that. And then because I did not yet have the Blu-ray release that I just recently got, I watched the Muppet Christmas Carol. Actually watched this one with my son. So the first time that Sean has ever seen this, and he liked it for the most part because he enjoys the Muppets. But man, when the Ghost of Christmas Future showed up, he wasn't too happy with him, but, you know, at least he didn't say anything. All he was doing was pointing, so, I don't know. He didn't really seem to like that character. As a 3-year-old, he was a little scared by that character, and I can completely understand that. But otherwise, he really enjoyed it, and me personally, I think it's fantastic. It's one of the best tellings of the Charles Dickens classic Christmas Carol. It is so good. So, the Muppet Christmas Carol is definitely one to see. There are so many different versions of A Christmas Carol out there, and the crazy thing is, with how many different versions of A Christmas Carol there are out there, there are so many good ones. There might be a few stinkers, but it's a great story, and it can be adapted in so many different ways. Everything from things like Scrooge to kind of more classic, tellings of it, to the Muppets doing it, to the Disney version, to so many different adaptations of this great story, and it works so well. And even though I've seen and I've heard the story a million times, I don't care because it's so great and so well told, and there's so many different versions of it to never get bored with that it really does work, and every time I watch it, I just love it more and more. So The Muppet Christmas Carol is a fantastic telling of the Charles Dickens great story. So, of course, I would recommend this if you like A Christmas Carol, if you like Muppets. It's a great mixture. Fantastic. Definitely worth checking out. Although, unfortunately, again, I did end up watching the edited cut because this version comes with the extended cut or the original cut before they trimmed it down. And unfortunately, the extended cut is in full screen, and I have become an aspect ratio snob as of recently, and I just have such a hard time watching stuff in full screen when that's not its original aspect ratio. And I don't know, I had to stop it and put it in the widescreen version. It was bugging me. There was just way too much cut off on each side. I feel like I was really close to Rizzo so often. So again, fantastic, definitely worth checking out. Hopefully Disney someday will properly release the full version of the movie in widescreen for the masses. That would be nice. Then a new movie. I've actually never seen this one. We have Noelle. And I thought it was okay. A lot of you guys left comments on social media saying that you guys really enjoyed this one when I mentioned I was watching it. And I just thought it was okay. Nothing bad, but nothing great. I love the fact that Robin Williams is in this. I did not know that. I mean, looking at the front, you would not know he was in the movie, but he is, and that was fantastic. I'm trying to see. He's not even on the back. That's so weird. He's like not mentioned anywhere. Probably in the credits. Wow, I don't even see him mentioned in the credits. That is weird. Anyway, pretty decent story, just nothing all that great in my opinion. Kind of felt very Hallmarky in the sense that it didn't feel like it was like, it had like a high budget, which is fine, but it kind of felt a little cheesy here and there. It's all these different stories that kind of mix into one another. Paul Walker, he's getting married to Penelope Cruz, but he's really jealous, and there's this other story about this guy who thinks that Paul Walker is the reincarnated, is his wife reincarnated, which is kind of crazy, of course, but it sort of works out that guy had some issues where he was possessive and jealous, and his wife ended up dying, and Paul Walker finds out about this and is like, oh, you know, it's this whole thing, it's like linked, and maybe I need to be better now, and yada, yada, yada. Susan Sarandon with her being depressed during Christmas because she has been spending so many years of her life taking care of her mother who's in a hospital, and that's where Robin Williams comes into play. He's kind of like this sort of angel type character. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of bizarre at times. All the stories do work together and do kind of mesh together, which I like, but in the end, I thought it was just kind of okay, and I don't really see myself watching this one probably ever again. I mean, it's not that I wouldn't watch it again. If my wife was like, hey, can we watch Noelle? Sure, why not? But personally, I don't see myself ever grabbing it off the shelf to really watch again. But it was okay. Worth seeing if you're really interested, but I wouldn't say anything you have to see. And then, because I had to do it, Lethal Weapon. Oh my gosh, one of those great non-traditional Christmas movies, the non-Christmas Christmas movie. I know a lot of people this time of year watch Die Hard, and it's a great movie, a great Christmas movie. So is Die Hard 2. They do take place during the Christmas season, whereas Lethal Weapon does as well. And I did actually just recently pick up the Laserdisc, and I said in the video that, yeah, I'm gonna watch this one tonight. And I did watch Lethal Weapon that night, but again, with me becoming an aspect ratio snob, my Laserdisc is pan and scan, and I'm just like, I'm gonna pop in the Blu-ray. I have to watch it in full, or in widescreen. So I love it. It's such a great. I mean, I have not watched Lethal Weapon in a few years, and rewatching it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this movie is so much fun. It is like one of the ultimate '80s buddy cop movies. I love the teaming up of these two very different police officers, and the craziness that kind of ensues when they get together, and them having to try, you know, to solve the crime and whatnot, and of course all this taking place during the holiday Christmas season, which is a lot of fun. So definitely one I'd recommend, just in a movie in general. I mean, watch it any time of the year. It's fantastic. It's such a great kind of, I don't say cheesy, but great. I guess nowadays it would be kind of cheesy because it's very cliche, but at the time, I guess not not so much. But a great 80s action buddy cop movie. It is just one of the best out there. And I would have to say that the one real negative aspect of watching this movie is now I want to watch the other three. As soon as I was done watching Lethal Weapon, I was like, oh man, now I want to pop in Lethal Weapon 2, 3, and 4. Like, I really wanted to watch them, but those are not, if I'm not mistaken, those are not have anything to do with Christmas, and as such, I was like, I can't watch them right now. Maybe after the Merry Movie Marathon, I'll check them out, because it has been a while since I've watched all 4 movies, but man, the first one is so good, definitely worth checking out. It's a fun non-Christmas Christmas movie, or a non-traditional Christmas movie, however you want to see it. So if you're like me, and every year you watch nothing but like Christmas and holiday related titles during your Christmas season, maybe you need to break things up. You're like, okay, I've seen A Christmas Carol 90 times. I've seen Deck the Halls, and I've seen Jingle All the Way and the Santa Claus. I'm watching all these great holiday movies, but I really want to switch it up. Lethal Weapon is a way to do that. So awesome. I love it. And then finally, another new movie for me, one I've never seen before. We have 3 Godfathers, and this is also kind of a non-traditional Christmas movie in the sense that it's not really Christmas related, but at the same time it kind of is. This actually takes place during, I believe, a few days before Christmas, and it's about these 3 bank robbers who rob a bank, and when they're on the run, they run into some trouble. It's not going, they're not really escaping the law very well. They're out of water. They get to another watering hole. The law's waiting for them. Waiting for them there. They go to another watering hole where there is no law, but when they get there, they find out that there's no water there anymore. I won't get into why, but there's no water there anymore. And they also find a woman who is pregnant. And while they're there, she gives birth and she dies. And now they're stuck with this baby. And before she dies, the lady basically says, okay, you are this baby's 3 godfathers. Please promise me you'll take care of this baby and raise it and make sure it gets to safety. And, they keep the promise, and they basically kind of put running from the law aside, and now they're focusing on getting this baby somewhere safe. They're in the middle of the desert. They have no water. What are they going to do? They got to get to the town, which I believe is called New Jerusalem. So you're getting the idea here. Takes place a bit before Christmas. They now have a baby. They're following the North Star to New Jerusalem. So you kind of see how it's tied into the Christmas story and the Christmas season. So again, they're trying to get this kid. They don't all necessarily make it, but at the very end, I guess somewhat spoilers here, the baby does get home, and there is kind of an interesting ending to the story. I won't ruin it too much for you, but it's really cool to watch a fun Western that might not be a traditional Christmas movie, but definitely has that story of traditional Christmas kind of thrown into it to sort of make it a bit more interesting. I will say, though, that the movie does lag a bit in the middle. It starts out pretty strong. I really like all the characters. John Wayne's fantastic in it. I like when they run into, like, the marshal or the whatever of the town they're going to rob the bank from. That's a pretty funny scene. And then they start running from the law. That's pretty interesting as well. But once they kind of get into the desert and they're kind of like trying to rough it, and they find the baby, and there's the really long drawn out scene of them like figuring out how to take care of this baby. It can get a little drawn out, in my opinion. It does lag a bit in the middle. Gets, of course, more exciting towards the end. So if you're watching the movie and you're really into it, and then you're like, okay, this is kind of getting boring, stick with it. It has a cool ending. So the 3 Godfathers, again, another non-traditional Christmas movie that might not be 100% about Santa Claus or something like that, or whatever, but it kind of has sort of the story of baby Jesus in a way kind of roped into it. It all takes place again a few days before Christmas. When they actually get to New Jerusalem, they walk into a saloon, and the people in the saloon are singing Christmas carols. So again, it's all taking place during the Christmas season, and kind of ropes in the story sort of baby Jesus kind of. So definitely one worth checking out. I enjoyed it, and it's always fun to watch a Western during the Christmas season. So, all right, guys, there you go. That is all the recent Merry Movie Marathon titles I've checked out. I have another week to go. I'll be watching nothing but Christmas and holiday-related titles up until the 1st of January to New Year's Day. So I still have about a week to go until I'm done with this, and then, man, I gotta get caught up. I bought so many movies over the last month that I really want to watch, but they're not holiday-related, so I'm kind of fiending to get into those. So once the holidays are over, man, I'll be jumping into some great movies, I assure you. But, all right, guys, that is it. So, as always, thank you all so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see a brand new video from me every single day. Also, be sure to check out Patreon, where you can help support the show. The simple donation of $1 a month really does help out, goes a long way, goes right back into these videos, and it does gain you early access on most of my videos as well. Also, be sure to check out Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself many designs of Cinema Sickness t-shirts. Again, proceeds do help the show, are very much appreciated. And as always, most importantly, check out the Cinema Sickness store on Instagram, where you can pick up all kinds of awesome media. Proceeds definitely do help out, are very, very, very much appreciated, or the most important. And links to everything can be found down below in the description of this video. So again, that is it, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, hope you're having a great Christmas. Stay positive. There's a lot of negativity out there right now in the world, and even on YouTube. It's kind of a sad thing, but hopefully you guys are staying positive, having a great one. That's one of the main things about this show. I always try to keep it upbeat and positive and happy, and always try to be upbeat and positive and happy towards you guys as well. So, again, hope you're having a great one. I'll see you all tomorrow, and yeah, Merry Christmas. See you guys then. Bye. And now it is time for the yearly Cinema Sickness Christmas tradition of Domino's Pizza and A Christmas Story.